Chatham was very busy Columbus Day weekend. Pumpkin People in the Park was sensational with some terrific displays. Kudos to the Merchants Association, and Oktoberfest was very crowded with the added treat of the Chatham Town Band. Halloween is behind us. Some of the stores and restaurants have closed for the season, and you can actually find a place to park right on Main Street. But this is Chatham, and there is always something going on. I'm Huntley Harrison, together with Richard Garvin and Jerry Panuzik, to bring you the November installment of Chatham Today, the show that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the town of Chatham. Today, we are at the Chatham Fish Pier to highlight the Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance. Later in the cablecast, we will interview Nancy Civetta, Communications Director of the Fishermen's Alliance, and Mary Anderson, Director of the Family Pantry of Cape Cod, to find out about their Fish for Families collaboration and the Giving Tuesday initiative. But first, we will catch you up on the events and activities for November. First, we want to remind you of Veterans Day and the Veterans Day Parade, honoring all who have served on Tuesday, November 11th from 11 a.m. to noon. The ceremony will take place at Veterans Circle, also known as the Rotary. Participants will line up at Veterans Field parking lot at 10:30 a.m., located next to the Chatham Community Center, and depart from there at 10:55 and proceed down Main Street to Veterans Circle. The participants will include members of the Chatham VFW and American Legion, the Ladies Auxiliary to the Chatham VFW, the Chatham Coast Guard, the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and boys and girls from our Scout organizations. In the event of inclement weather, the ceremony will be held at the Chatham Community Center. Now, here's Rich with the update for the Council on Aging.
Safety Information Session. Monday, November 3rd at 1 p.m., Chief of Police Mark Polina is proud to announce that a new service that works directly with local law enforcement and is designed for people with autism, Down syndrome, and Alzheimer's, and who are at risk, is now available in Chatham. LoJack and Safety Net have worked together with the police department to bring the Safety Net service to the Chatham community. The Safety Net service provides law enforcement with the tools and training to more effectively find and rescue individuals who could be or are prone to wandering and becoming lost. It also helps caregivers provide an added layer of protection for loved ones who suffer from cognitive conditions that can lead to life-threatening behavior of wandering. The Chatham Police Department has been trained and certified on the Safety Net service, as well as equipped with search and rescue equipment. Please join the COA and Sergeant Andrew Goddard to learn more about this program. Of course, you can come early and join them for a delicious lunch. Reservations are required. Veterans Day Lunch and Movie, Monday, November 10th at noon. The Chatham COA will be honoring our veterans and military spouses this Veterans Day with a special COA Cafe Gourmet Lunch, offered free of charge to veterans and or military spouses who are Chatham residents age 60 or older. Not a veteran or military spouse? No problem. Lunch will be offered for $7 for those who do not qualify for the free meal. Reservations are required by Friday, November 7th. Call or stop in. Stay after for a free screening of the movie Monuments Men at 1:15 p.m. This program is generously sponsored by the Friends of the Chatham COA. Henry Callan, Antiques Appraisal and Presentation, Monday, November 17th at 1 p.m. Henry Callan, a well-known appraiser and antiques dealer, will educate and entertain participants. All kinds of antiques will be appraised with the exception of stamps, coins, and jewelry. Presenting each item to the entire audience, Mr. Callan will indicate its country of origin, its age, and value. A show and tell all will enjoy. Participants will be limited to 1 or 2 items per person, $5 per item. Space is limited and reservations are a must. Why not join them for lunch beforehand? Remember, you will need to register for both. Lunch and Learn for Caregivers, Wednesday, November 19th at 11 a.m. Are you taking care of a loved one, friend, or neighbor at home? Yes? Then you are a caregiver. This program is about you and your loved one. There will be free soup, salad, and dessert, and a free gift and resource packet. They invite you to submit questions you'd like answered in advance so that they may tailor the program to meet your needs. Questions can be submitted to the Chatham COA office by Friday, November 14th, and you must register for the program, also by Friday the 14th. This program is offered at the Chatham COA in cooperation with the Family Caregiver Support Program of Elder Services of Cape Cod and the Islands, and is sponsored by the Elder Services and the Friends of Chatham COA in celebration of National Family Caregivers Month. Free memory screening, free memory screening, Tuesday, November 18th from 9 to noon. Hope Dementia and Alzheimer's Services will be administering free, confidential memory screens at the COA. Memory screenings help identify people with potential problems who may need more extensive evaluation. They also provide education and reassurance to those with mild age-associated changes in their memory, who may otherwise worry that they have a dementia. Please note that you will not receive a diagnosis in a screening, but rather an indication of whether or not symptoms of memory loss are present and should be evaluated further. For information or to schedule your appointment, please call the COA at 508-945-5190. Senior Day at Whole Foods Hyannis, Wednesday, November 19th. Seniors are invited to visit the store for a variety of different events, samplings, and educational classes on each Wednesday. The Chatham COA will be offering transportation to and from Senior Day on November 19th. The event begins at 10 a.m. and the COA van will leave around 9 a.m. Space is limited. Call the COA for more information or to register. Shine Open Enrollment Appointments. Medicare beneficiaries, don't delay. Once again, it's time to review your Medicare and health and prescription coverage. Medicare's annual open enrollment runs from October 15th to December 7th. During this time, you can enroll, unenroll, or switch your Medicare Part D prescription drug plan or Medicare Advantage plan, HMO, PPO. Appointments are available Thursdays, October 16th through December 4th, from 1 to 3 p.m. Please call or stop by the front desk to register for an appointment. Fuel assistance. COA Outreach is now scheduling appointments to assist low-income households with help paying home heating bills. Typically, the program runs from November through April of each year. Once an application is approved, both the applicant and heating company vendor receive written notification from South Shore Community Action Council indicating the amount of approved assistance. Appointments are available to arrange for an appointment. Or for more information, call the COA.
And now for the November events at the Eldridge Public Library. Saturday, November 1st at 2 p.m., Roosevelt Film Series. A critically acclaimed documentary will be shown portraying the exciting story of a physically challenged young man from Harvard who came to the western frontier in 1883. Theodore Roosevelt bought a ranch, learned to ride, shoot, hunt, and acquired the skills that would make him a war hero and an American president. Saturday, November 8th at 2 p.m., Book to Film Discussion Group. This month's selection is The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Heisman. Sunday, November 9th at 2 p.m., meet Eleanor Roosevelt, wife, mother, and First Lady, 1905 to 1945. Performer Elena Dodd will bring a personal visit from Mrs. Roosevelt during the years of her marriage, ending with Franklin's death in 1945. During this time, Miss Roosevelt had a growing involvement in politics, social issues, and the media. She gradually emerged as an independent force in both her public and private life. Miss Dodd will present a frank and humorous view of her extraordinary adventures. This will be a 50-minute performance with time after for questions and discussion. This program is sponsored by the Friends of the Eldridge Public Library. Thursday, November 13th at 7 p.m., author event with Chip Bishop. Author Chip Bishop will be there to discuss his latest book, Quentin and Flora, a Roosevelt and a Vanderbilt in love during the Great War. This is a compelling tale of Theodore Roosevelt's youngest son, Quentin, and his secret fiancée, Flora Payne Whitney, daughter of Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney. Quentin and Flora is a true and moving tale of courage, heroism, and young love. Saturday, November 15th at 2 p.m., Roosevelt Film Series. Unemployed New Yorker Larry Daly has accepted a job as night watchman in the Museum of Natural History. He soon realizes that everything at the museum is not as it seems as the sun sets and the museum descends into chaos with the inexperienced Larry in charge. For more library information, log on to their website.
November at the Atwood House brings us two special events. Friday, November 7th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with Thread in Hand, a program celebrating the historic and vital art of embroidery, sponsored by the Atwood House Museum and the Women's Club of Chatham. Enjoy a morning of informative and inspiring talks about embroidery. Then join friends for a light lunch catered by Chatham's Pampered Palate, followed by a private visit to the Atwood House's popular exhibition, Works Most Artful and Ingenious, the Embroidery of Anne Gray. Presenters will include Tricia Wen, who will talk about this fascinating project to create the Plymouth Jacket, the extraordinary project to recreate a woman's embroidered waistcoat of the early 1600s. Joetta Maw, a contemporary artist for whom embroidery has become a medium for exploring a range of ideas. Conservator Marie Schlag, who will offer advice on how to care for both historic and contemporary embroidery. Registration for this program is $30 per person and space is limited to 70 participants. Register with a credit card by calling the Atwood House, 508-945-2493, or by mailing a check payable to the Chatham Historical Society to With Thread in Hand, Atwood House Museum, 347 Stage Harbor Road, P.O. Box 709, Chatham, Massachusetts, 02633. On Sunday, November 9th at 2 p.m. at the Atwood Lecture Series presents Elizabeth Reynard and Virginia Gildersleeve Shaping the World, the Nation, and Cape Cod with speaker Marcia Finley. The lecture provides brief biographies of both Reynard and Gildersleeve with emphasis on the many important causes they were involved in. These include women's educational equality and suffrage, the waves in World War II, the drafting of the UN Charter, and the establishment of a modern educational system in post-war Japan. Marcia Finley will also focus on Gildersleeve and Reynard's love of Cape Cod, Reynard's books based on Cape folklore, their time in Chatham in a neighborhood filled with artists like Harold Brett and other intellectuals, their renovation and donation of the Jericho House in Dennis, etc. Gildersleeve and Raynard organized a women's group to halt Air Force bombing off Monomoy. For example, this should be an extremely interesting presentation and worth attending. Admission is free, however, donations are welcome.
And now for some items of general interest. The Orpheum Theater has some special films for November. On the 6th and the 8th, The Sting. On the 20th and 22nd, Vertigo. And on the 28th and 29th, The Nutcracker. All classic movies. Get your tickets early. Don't forget, the last gallery night of the season on Saturday, November 8th from 4 to 6 p.m. The members' exhibition continues through November 21st at the Creative Arts Center on Kroll Road. And there will be a 2-day workshop on Saturday and Sunday, November 22nd and 23rd with William Davis, Finding the Subject in Oil. Call the center for details. Jekyll and Hyde, the musical, performances Fridays and Saturdays through November at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. at the Chatham Drama Guild. Call 508-945-0510 for tickets. Always a fun event, the 10th annual Chatham Turkey Trot on Thursday, November 27th. Fun run or walk over 3.1 miles of winding and rolling paved roads. Breathtaking scenery, coordinated by the Unitarian Universalist Meeting House in Chatham and the Chatham Walkers. This benefits the Lower Cape Outreach Council. Register between 7 and 8 a.m. behind the Orpheum Theater. Adults $15 and a bag of non-perishable groceries. Youngsters 5 to 16, $5. Under 5 free with one grocery item. Free t-shirts while they last. There will be a raffle as well as a homemade pie sale. Park at Oyster Pond, the Community Center, or the Orpheum Theater lot. For more information, call 508-432-7194 or 508-945-1798. Download an application at www.chathamturkeytrot.com. Lastly, but certainly not least, here's some preview information to get you thinking about First Night Chatham. Are you making plans for New Year's Eve? First Night Chatham 2015 is featuring a full afternoon and evening of over 60 musical acts, performances, and activities for children and adults on the last day of the year. First Night Chatham will ring out the old with past favorites including the all-worn-out jug band, Cirque du Jour, the Cape Cod Symphony Brass Quintet, and a performance by the Monomoy Theater Players. New acts will include the 20-piece compact big band, Chinese folk art dancers, and Downtown Crossing, an award-winning barbershop quartet. Sandcastles by the Sea is the theme for this year's First Night. For a schedule of events, full list of performers, and more information, including where to purchase First Night buttons, go to First Night Chatham 2015 website, www.firstnightchatham.com.
And now, as we promised earlier, our special segment on the Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance. The Alliance was launched in 1991 by a group of local commercial fishermen who saw the need for better fisheries management and wanted their experiences to inform it. They are an organization rooted in first-hand knowledge of ocean life and committed to sustaining the tradition of small-scale fishing. Their work on fisheries management, scientific projects, and community education is all aimed at protecting fish and fishing for future generations. The Alliance works with Cape Cod's dayboat fishermen, whose operations represent an important part of our local economy. Last year, they brought in some 12 million pounds of seafood worth $16 million, income and jobs that are valuable to the entire local community.
With us today are Nancy Chavetta Communications Director of the Fishermen's Alliance, and Mary Anderson, Director of the Family Pantry, to find out about their Fish for Families collaboration and the Giving Tuesday initiative. Mary, I'm going to start with you. Would you tell us more about the Family Pantry of Cape Cod and what it does?
Thank you, Rich. And Rich does know a little bit since he has a hat on and is a volunteer from the pantry. Family Pantry of Cape Cod is 25 years in business. We're the largest pantry on the Cape that serves all of Cape Cod. We have clients from Bourne and Provincetown and every place in between. Last year, we served just under 9,000 people. Chatham has always been served from the Harwich location. We currently have about 150 Chatham families that come fairly regularly to the pantry.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, now I'm going to talk to Nancy Civetta, or actually she's going to talk to you about the partnership between the Family Pantry and the Cape Fishermen's Alliance. Nancy?
Hi, thank you. Well, it was a little bit over a year ago. The Family Pantry of Cape Cod and the Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance got together. The Family Pantry didn't often have seafood to serve their clients, and we all know that seafood is a very healthy protein choice for families. And we knew that we had a lot of fishermen on Cape Cod that were bringing the bounty right from the sea here, and we wanted to make sure that families in need were having access to that. So we partnered, and we work with local fishermen to bring seafood to the Family Pantry of Cape Cod. So far, we have done sea scallops, sea clams, skate wing fillets, bluefish fillets, and in November we will be doing fresh dogfish fillets. These get immediately frozen and packaged into individual family-sized portions for easy distribution at the pantry.
Yeah, I can testify to that. They are packaged very well, and they're easy to give out, and the people really appreciate it. Now, we've talked about a lot of seafood here, and I guess the commercial fishermen are trying to get people more interested in non-traditional seafood. Is that true, Nancy?
That is true. We all know that cod has had some tough times, and it's currently quite depleted. It's very difficult for fishermen on Cape Cod to find cod and bring it home for us to enjoy. Most of the cod that we eat on Cape Cod is imported from Iceland, and we are not eating the fresh local fish that's right here in our backyard. So I would say that there's probably millions of pounds of skate and dogfish that are landed here. They're both white fillet fish and very tasty. So we thought we should probably try and introduce these to the general public, and we've been working on promoting them both with chefs and restaurants, and obviously looking beyond that to feed more people. And the idea of being able to feed hungry families was really appealing to the fishermen, and they all were very excited to be a part of the program.
Where is this fish processed? I mean, we don't process it here to distribute to the pantries. What other organizations are involved to help you do this? Nancy, or Mary, it doesn't matter.
I'm going to have Nancy take part of this, but I know it gets transported down to New Bedford to a couple of places that process. Raw Seafoods is one, and Nancy will speak to the other. And they do a great job packaging, and then our warehouse manager, Jim O'Barra, goes down. We have insulated freezer blankets, and he brings the fish back. But Nancy, you'll know that other name.
We've also worked with Martyrs Trawling and Intershell for the sea clams and Pier Fish for the bluefish. I also think it's important, and this is where my mind was going, we have had quite a lot of foundation support to make this possible. And Mary can tell you who's helped us out along the way.
Yeah, this started as a pilot program, and we were fortunate to get 3 grantors: the Kelly Foundation, the Cape and Islands United Way, and Cape Cod Healthcare's Community Benefits Initiative, because that's what really made it happen with the financing. Our goal is to try to get this to a price point that the pantry can afford to buy it, and that would serve one of our other goals is helping support the local fishermen.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Nancy. One last question. How is this partnership a win-win for the fishermen and the families of Cape Cod?
Well, I'll speak to the families. We surveyed our clients a couple of months before we started, maybe even a little longer, and the overwhelming interest in fish was incredible. And I thought, well, the first one was scallops, and we knew that would go incredibly well. But each species, and they have been more less traditional species, they've left the premise in about 3 to 4 weeks. So I think that's a testament to how well it's going at the pantry end.
Nancy?
Yes, and that's 1,000 pounds of each of these types of seafood is given out in that 3 to 4 week period. So it's a lot of seafood. And I think the fishermen are benefiting because they're proud of the seafood that they bring to shore, and they're certainly grateful to be able to help other families in need on Cape Cod. I think the main point of the program, as Mary said, is can we grow this? Can we make this into something more? Can we expand beyond our community and help other hungry families? As I said, fishermen in Chatham land millions of pounds of dogfish and skate. And how can we help Cape Cod families, Massachusetts families, New England families, and beyond? And that's the point of our Giving Tuesday initiative. So what we're going to do is create a fundraiser on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving where we ask you to donate to this cause so that we can figure out how to scale this up and help more families. We need some basic starting costs to help us evaluate and analyze how we can move this up to the next level, and your help will help make that possible. So on Giving Tuesday, go to www.capecodfishermen.org/donate, and that's fishermen plural. And on that, you'll learn a little bit more about this collaboration and our effort to take it up a notch. And thank you for your help.
This is Rich Garvin, and I want to thank two of the wonderful people who live here on Cape Cod. Many others do too, but these two folks are really doing something great for the folks who are a little down and out on their luck, and they're helping one of our major industries, fishing. So I'd just like to thank Mary and Nancy for your time and your expertise on this, for informing the public. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that wraps it up for this time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chatham Today. Remember, the show runs on Channel 99 on Mondays at 9 a.m. and several other times during the week. If you missed the cablecast or want to see it again, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or you can visit our website. Just do a Google search for site/Chatham Today. It should be the first entry you see. The web address is on the screen now. Chatham Today is a video chronicle of the events and activities in the town of Chatham. If you would like to have what's happening in your organization announced on the air, please email us. We look forward to hearing from you. You can also like us on Facebook under Chatham Today. We hope you do. From the Chatham Fish Pier, this is Huntley Harrison. Thank you for watching. We'll see you down the road.